Hey, so let's talk about the poor versus the rich, renters versus homeowners. Is there any correlation there? Let's find out next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave, your great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or even relocate right here to the Treasure Valley. And I saw this story online and I thought I'd share it with you and go over some of the highlights and then give you my opinion at the end of this video. So be sure to stick around for that. And you know, this is a topic that we've touched on before or danced around before. The difference in the long-term economic life of renters versus homeowners. And I saw this news story and then an opinion piece that linked to this news story to give it a little bit more context. And I thought it was pretty interesting. And I want to throw in my 2 cents to make it even more interesting. So let's check it out. So here's that first story from Yahoo Finance. How Americans view the economy depends on whether they rent or own. It goes on to say that renters are struggling more financially while homeowners continue to reap the rewards of refinancing during the pandemic years when interest rates are lower. The growing divide has complicated the Federal Reserve's efforts to bring down inflation, with homeowners propping up consumer prices with their discretionary spending power. So the reason that is well, the post-pandemic economy is treating people very differently, creating a headache for the central bankers. Oh, boo-hoo central bankers, right? They're the ones that caused all this. The extreme differences can often be traced back to living situations, as renters have a very different experience than homeowners. And part of that is because, well, so unlike renters, if you're a homeowner, you have a very predictable cost when it comes to what your monthly payment's going to be. Your principal and interest is going to stay the same. And then back at the before the pandemic, early part of the pandemic, when interest rates were really low, homeowners could take that opportunity to refinance, pull equity out of their homes, get a lower payment because interest rates are lower. And well, at the same time, home prices have only gone up since the pandemic, creating a record level of home equity, which helps people when they're trying to pull equity out, that owners can tap through refinancing or home equity loans and lines of credit. That extra cash added to the spending splurge and created a headache for the policymakers, the central planners, dealing with the economy less sensitive to interest rates. But just on the other side, renters are not benefiting from that at all. As this opinion piece that looked at that previous story, it went over, it pulled out this, probably the real crux of the whole situation. Renters and owners live in separate economies. And apparently that's true. So it turns out renters and homeowners are living in 2 entirely different economies, at least according to this new study, which linked back to that first story. I thought this was an interesting chart. Survey shows financial distress among non-elderly adults by housing tenure. So the red is homeowners, the blue is renters. This column is financially insecure. 24.5% homeowners, almost twice that renters. This one is the use of alternative financial services. I don't know if that means your dollar loan center, or your loan sharks, parents, things like that. 8.4% for homeowners and 17.9% for renters. More than double. And these homeowners, they might be some of the newer ones since rates started going back up. In short, renters are in dire straits financially, while homeowners are continuing to reap the rewards of cheap pandemic money that left renters with nothing but inflation. And so what does all this eventually mean? Well, it means the rich get richer and the poor get inflation. So the Fed's money printing works by injecting new money into asset markets, which leaves the rich richer and the poor coping with inflation, which just goes to show the system is rigged. The Fed report finds that nearly 1 in 5 renters fell behind on their rent in the past year, while rents have soared 20% since the pandemic. Renters are more likely not to be able to pay the electric, water, or gas bill in the past month, and they report much higher rates of financial anxiety. On the other hand, it's a whole other world for homeowners, particularly those that refinanced during the pandemic and got low interest rates. When the smoke cleared, the money printing orgy was a bonanza for the wealthy, and it was a cruel joke on everybody else. And above all, on the young, stuck watching that ship sail further and further away, giving up on starting a family, instead returning to mom's basement to complain about capitalism. And why not? That's probably the same capitalism that their teachers and their professors have been telling them that screws over the masses, takes your wealth, and makes Marxism look like a pretty good alternative. Well, that's really not capitalism, that's cronyism. Because the rule of thumb in Washington is that the rhetoric is for the middle and working class, the voters, yet the policies are for the wealthy. And you know what? We could take advantage of some of those policies that the wealthy take advantage of. Let's talk about that a little bit more. So lots of things to go over there, am I right? And of course, I wanted to throw in my 2 cents. I've got life experience. I've been a renter and I've been a homeowner over the long term. I've been through the nationwide ups and the nationwide downs. And I've been in the real estate business for a while now, and I've seen the stability and the economic peace that it can bring to home buyers. But don't get me wrong, sure, there are some times when renting actually makes sense for a specific reason, for a specific length of time, probably a shorter period of time. But overall, why is homeownership the way to go? Well, because like these stories allude to, the system is rigged. I'm sure you probably already figured that out or had a sense of it, am I right? Favors the wealthy, screws the poor. It always has, it always will. But you and I can take advantage of some of those systems that are in place that benefit the wealthy, and one of those is homeownership. We can buy and hold real estate, and it gives us a place to live, which is kind of nice. But sure, we get zapped with paying all that interest over time, and it is a lot. But we do get to use leverage that gets us into a home. There are programs out there that could get you into, let's say, for example, a $400,000 home for $2,000. Or if you're going for a VA, for $0 down. Now that is leverage, but leverage does come at a cost, and that's those interest payments. But the cool thing is, especially as a newer homeowner, well, 1, you get into your house. 2, you get to build up equity. 3, you get to refinance your home loan when it makes sense to, and you get to stay in your house, and you might be able to pull out some extra equity to put in your pocket. 4, you can pay off your loan ahead of time without any penalty. 5, you're making your payments in the future with inflated dollars. And what does that mean? That means that the payment that you're making gets smaller and smaller compared to the cost of living. 6, there may be some tax advantages, either to help offset your income or when it comes time to sell your home. 7, it's your home. You have the stability in knowing that you're not going to get kicked out or even priced out of your home like you would with a rental, and you can actually make it feel like your home. You can decorate it how you like. You can have your pets, whatever you want. And with a rental, you get none of those things. The only thing you get for sure with a rental over time is your rent's going to go up. So thanks for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you have any questions about, maybe relocating to Treasure Valley, buying a home, selling a home, or if you want to talk some more about rental versus home ownership, give us a call. I'll be glad to help. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Hey, thanks for stopping in and learning more about real estate in Nampa, Idaho and the Treasure Valley. If you'd like to learn more, watch this video here next or binge on this playlist. When it comes time to sell a home, buy a home, or even relocate to the Treasure Valley, your Treasure Valley Dave team is your real estate expert by your side, helping you get home.